All right, well, welcome back. Hope you managed to grab a quick drink and everything else you need to, because we got an exciting game here. It's going to be Illuminar Gaming versus Forward in the third map of the best of three. Forward absolutely demolished Illuminar on the previous map. Let's see how they do it this time around on the pistol round.
Obviously, this is always a very important round to come out on top of, just in terms of your long-term econ, but as we've noted in the past, simply winning your pistol doesn't necessarily guarantee you much of anything, so it's going to be a full rush onto the B site here. Oh, those dualies.
The Julie's going to be absolutely demolishing them in a couple of seconds here. He's going to be able to find one kill, but it's going to be... Oh, that's so painful. But they are going to be able to finish it out forward. Okay, you know what? I thought that was going to go a different direction, but in the end, doesn't even matter how hard you try. Just keep that in mind. Forward are going to be able to come for you and demolish you.
Evidently, it does seem to be somewhat of a growing pattern. But another pattern that we've had between these two teams in particular is like one will win the pistol and they will either lose the force or they will stream ahead to 3 rounds and then the enemy team will turn things back around and stream ahead to 3 rounds and then things get a bit wonky. So we'll see if that is the case here, because there is a little bit of a force here from Illuminar again, buying into those 2 scouts after losing the first round, and it does not seem to have paid off.
No, not from the scouts, but this Deagle definitely has. Players are going to be sneaking around them. He should get found through that smoke, surely. Never mind, he's going to get found from elsewhere. So they managed to take down 2 players, the exact same 2 players who died in the first round as well. I'm sure they're getting a little bit, frustrated on that front. Dying to the Deagle like that I don't think they'll buy the AKs, or at least they shouldn't. Should just have Mac 10s.
Theoretically, you never really know what to expect from a lot of these teams and a lot of these situations. But yes, after losing a few of the guns in their bonus, they actually so they do buy into 1 rifle just to bolster themselves a little bit along with those 2 Mac 10s. But of course, Illuminar don't have really much to work with here. 1 Deagle. That will at least give them that little bit of extra punch. But yeah, as predicted, it's looking like we're going to get a 3-round runaway. The big question mark is going to come into the next round to see if Illuminar can bring it back.
So what we're going to be able to do here, Flash are going to be coming through. Pistols galore on the opposition side. There's no one over towards the site, so you see all those smokes. $300. Not wasted, but used. Which one of those Molotovs as well? 500 or so. Mac 10. Gets 2. Right. Does die though. That's going to be a bit of a harsh loss. But an extra $1,200 in the bank for that player. Problem, it catches IHG.TOAO off guard. And they're going to be chasing around IHG.reatz, who is going to fall apart. Probably re-in a little bit themselves. And TOAO is going to get spotted out there, if I'm right in saying. So they're just going to be charging him as he tries to stay alive. But there's just nothing you can do in that scenario.
Yeah, I mean, so given that should have been their bonus, they did spend a little bit into it, but as you said, a little bit of extra cash just because Yellow was able to get a few kills there means that it's not really the end of the world that he did die. Was it ideal? Definitely not. But they're still able to pull out a very serviceable buy out of that. AWP in play for both sides. Looking to Masked here to see if he can replicate some of the value that he's had in previous rounds.
Pushing up is going to be a problem, taking care of Masked, who had the AWP, jumped out a window straight into his demise. Now the rest of his teammates are going to have to try and do something about this, but they're just going to absolutely torn apart. Never mind, Reese comes in and gets a double piece, but that might be all she wrote in this situation. They've lost control of A. The bomb is rotating on over. There's that open mid, which they could try to pick up and maybe save, but Dozier, well, Dozier is going to be causing and inflicting even more pain. I mean, at this point, you're getting smoked off. What'd you even do? Tries to do a quick flash. Doesn't really achieve anything. He doesn't even look. Is this team awake?
Yeah, a bit of an odd angle. All things considered, he just kind of rushes out onto the site as well. A bit of a tough situation to be in. Reat's gonna try and keep it expensive here, which at least will help out potentially in the long run. Get himself a little bit of extra cash as well. But yeah, oh, there you go. This next round for Illuminar is gonna be tough. Again, very, very little cash in the bank here. Should be able to eke out some sort of a buy, but it's not gonna be fantastic. As forward, they've broken the mold. You know, previously 3-round lead, and then the enemy team comes back, brings it back in their favor. Forward, on the other hand, have managed to kind of push through that, secured themselves the 4th round here, looking very, very good. Looking quite smart, in fact, as Illuminar forced down onto a bunch of Deagles and one M4A1S to try and bring things back. Not really expecting too much to come out of this round. Very little utility to use as well. It should be a one and done.
Yeah, I'm surprised the Reatz ended up trying to go a little bit YOLO in that previous round. Could have picked up the AWP and lived to fight another day, but instead tried to go for the kills. He was the only one to get kills that previous round, and honestly, they've not really had too many kills altogether. They have all at least got one now with IHG picking that kill up. Doesn't mean they have an extra weapon in the mids. What they're going to be able to do with that exactly, I'm not too sure. This push from the player is going to be fairly painful, as Mirage is going to be able to get kill tagged down to 19 HP though. Mal catching these players off guard. Oh, does go down. That was so close. Couple of shots missed. That's going to allow Mal to just live.
I mean, Illuminar keep this way closer than we expected. I was saying I expected this to be somewhat of a one and done, and okay, yeah, Forward do win the round, but damn, Illuminar keep it expensive. Don't know how much of an impact that's going to have going into the next round. Obviously, it will have some impact, but with Forward having won 5 consecutive rounds, I think it's going to be safe to say that they'll more or less be okay into the next one. Most of their play, cash coming out of their ears. But at least Illuminar are going to be able to match it. And that's important because of, I mean, if that's what they were able to do on an eco round or low buy round, or whatever you want to call it, it does bode well for them now that they've got 2 AWPs in their hands. So this isn't, of course, their first buy. This is their second full buy, and the first one didn't really go to plan. Gonna need to try something different here. And I think that's kind of the point of the double AWP setup here. Just add that extra little bit of firepower, extra bit of cross cover. Make sure that Forward don't really have an opportunity to push in.
He said excited to see what they're going to be able to do with this setup. A double AWP setup as well. TOAO was actually doing very well with AWP on Mirage versus their opposition in the last series versus benched heroes. And there you go. Got it. Taking out one of the key players. Now over towards B. It's going to be IHG in a fantastic position. Exactly where you need to be in that kind of situation. Drops down a smoke. Going to give him a little bit more cover as these players are going to continue to push on through. Reatz is going to be over towards short. If he plays too aggressive, he might fall down, but he does take the bomb holder down. Gives them a decent amount of control. Drops an incendiary grenade over, meaning Mal can't really play as hard and fast as he may wish. Even less so when he's dead.
That's what we expected to come out of this round. Okay, it was only 1 AWP kill, but something that I do like to talk about is the threat of an AWP. So just the mere presence of it on a particular site or holding a particular angle can cause a team to want to circumvent that area entirely. So despite the fact that they may not necessarily have gotten a ton of kills out of the AWP setup, the presence can be quite intimidating. Illuminar with that first kill from Masked, shutting things down a little bit from Forward, forcing them to rethink their plan. And of course, this B-side hold was decent. I wouldn't call it spectacular in terms of how it was set up, but it does work out in their favor, as Forward at that point didn't really have a lot to work with, so they couldn't really force their way in onto the site. And Illuminar just shut it down. So well played there. Finally getting themselves a round on the board. It's taken 6 rounds, but we finally got there.
Pretty well played, and for any of you who are just joining us or don't quite understand what 7th position is for, and you know what, I get it, it's a little bit confusing, but 7th position isn't playing for an automatic qualification into obviously the team if one of the other teams does drop out. So, you know, they're playing for a backup spot, which may sound a little bit sad in some ways, but, you know, these things do have to come to fruition, and how do we know who to replace with who if we don't do this kind of thing? So it's always good to do this. IHG is going to have an opportunity here to find a kill, and he managed to land it. It was a little bit questionable. He missed a lot of shots there. Is eventually going to be able to get it. I'm not quite sure what Tio is shooting at with that deagle, but nonetheless, is going to be able to make it work.
Very spread out here, Forward. Obviously, you know, wanting to find a little bit of information, maybe gain a little bit of ground. Bomb still chilling towards their spawn. So without any information just yet, they haven't really wanted to commit to much of anything. But this push in towards mid, it could spell disaster for forward. Oh, okay, that's a good molly. That could push them off of the angle and allow a possibility to push out.
Indeed. Mount going to be pushing up short. Teammate's going to be looking to cover him up for his position here. In towards window, we do have a player's tower's going to be peeking in towards this short position. Catches Mount off guard, who missed that shot. A crucial mistake that they are going to pay for. But you know what? They got 5 rounds. I think they're fairly happy with their positioning right now. They haven't got the economy to back this up though, so if they lose this round, it is going to be fairly painful, and it's a massive surprise when you get 5 rounds in a row that you're not able to buy 3 rounds back to back realistically. But this is kind of what happens.
I mean, it really boils down to Illuminar keeping every single round very, very competitive, keeping it expensive, getting as many kills as they possibly can, and that really has proven problematic for forward here. Hang on. You know, I wasn't looking at the time, I'll be honest with everyone. I was very excited by the fact that we had a couple of exit frags there. Which,
you know
again,
what? ZELO did fantastic there. That was great.
Yeah, good stuff, good stuff. And again, does help to dent the economy just that little bit. And I think, you know, forward's position at the moment definitely proves that, as now they come into this round, they're only going to have the 2 AKs. And Illuminar, obviously, you know, they got to keep the AWPs from the previous round. They still got a ton of cash, and they're going to back it up with the 3 rifles there as well. So a ton of firepower here. Looking like they might just start to pull ahead here.
Okay, I was trying to work out why he was shooting. He was shooting some utility that fell under the actual box, and ZELO makes quick work of one of the oppositions, but it's going to be coming in. It's going to be Mirage, finds the kill, gets the trade, but not a trade you should really need in this situation. That should not have been an entry kill. That happened over towards short is going to be the bulk of the players, actually all the players from the opposition side. They've got pistols, they've got too much, and they're going to be absolutely demolished.
That maybe didn't go entirely as expected. I would have thought forward might have put up a little bit of a better fight into that round, but unfortunately, yeah, they a couple misplays there. Again, it kind of felt like the utility could have been used a little bit better. Saw some interesting dry pushes out of Palace. Didn't really pan out. Illuminar, like I said, slowly starting to close this gap for themselves. As forward now, this seems to be kind of the call for... Oh, no. Oh, jeez. No one expects the tunnel off.
Expects the Spanish Inquisition. Oh, there you go. Problem. And Co are going to be able to get a couple of kills. Thosria does go down. X-God is down. If it bleeds, we can kill it. Now, pushes on through. It's going to be able to take down IXUS. Decent kill. And now this is where they should be able to turn it around. Flash goes out over towards the B side. This is a great indicator as to where the opposition is going. So now it's going to be down to Mars to get a couple of kills here, but he's going to be chucking down the smoke, pushes on through, a little bit exposed. He has been spotted, and he goes down. Morale's going to be the last one left standing. He's back in towards mid position. They know they've got time. They're going to be planting in default. One will go up into apartments. One is going to hold the short position. There we go. Easy.
Forward starting to kind of battle their way back into it a little bit here once again. Illuminar definitely weren't looking to lose out on that round. Nice to see that forward are able to stabilize so effectively, right? They kind of just push out into the AWP shot, get deleted, and have to kind of reconfigure themselves after losing one of their players. Very often, you know, when you are player down, it can be difficult to reaggress in, find an opening for yourself. So they do well for that. Don't hesitate too much, which I think is a key point here. And once again, no hesitation. Far less than previously, I suppose.
No, and well, we're going to be seeing ZELO go right down on ReatZ. He gets the spray transfer and takes down 2 absolute beastly players. The tower, like I said, this map, him and an AWP, absolutely beast-like. Mal has been spotted. They know exactly where he is. It's going to be an insane grenade dropping behind there. Forces him out. He gets a kill, but that's going to be all she wrote.
That did not go as I expected. Geez, these teams do a really good job of, like, kind of throwing all expectation out of the window. Forward, I felt like had a really good position there. They take some solid forward ground, throwing out a lot of that early utility, trying to gain that space over in mid, and Illuminar just shut it down. And this is one of those times where, you know, we do see the utility coming out from forward. Sometimes they'll take these kind of drier peaks, and then obviously you tend to kind of get shut down in that one. But this time around, they actually do. They use their utility quite nicely, and Illuminar just ready for it, reading into their movements so well.
GM is going to be up in that position, trying to find these spots, but it's not going to happen, IXUS. It should be a fairly easy round for them. If they do lose a single player, it'd be kind of disappointing for them, but it is possible on this front. Oh, no, never mind.
No. Possible, but highly improbable. Illuminar set to even out the scoreline here. Impressive that they're managing to maintain their economy so well, right? I mean, they're having so many of these flawless rounds. Forward very much struggling to put those very important dents into their cash that we talk about. And for Forward themselves, obviously having not been able to really string any rounds together since their 5-round string. Not being able to build up anything. Oh, no.
Oh.
Nobody saw that, man. Don't even worry about it.
We've seen at least 4 of those tonight.
I know, it's just
that
terrible.
We've seen, anyway.
It happened yesterday as well.
Just good.
He made up
Playing
for
like
it.
NA players all the time, it's crazy.
Redemption arc. It's okay.
Mars and Reatz get a couple of kills themselves. G-Aim is going to get shut down. Mars trying to make up for some previous mistakes. It's going to have to be a little bit careful here. Mao is looking to burn out his opposition. He's going to have an opportunity to take them down, but misses the crucial shots. This means there's only 2 of them left alive. Taking down that 1 extra player would have been absolutely fantastic. Oh, problem. He's about to have a solution, and there we go. He's done exactly what he needed to do, equaling the player count here. Now they can go 2 versus 1 if they go towards a site, as Mars is now going to be left there alone with the AWP in hand. 5-7, 0 utility. He has got the only defuse kit that I know of, or at least its position. Let's see if Mars is going to be able to flick up onto this in time. Has spotted them. That is huge news. Smokes, everything going to be getting dropped out. Utility is going to get used. And now the short position is being held. So they're going to have a little bit of a difficult time. If they try to plant for ramp, they are going to end up losing their life. As Mast and his teammates have got this kind of held down. Fantastic shots. Even though he's flashed, they managed to get these kills. The 2 shots, they took down the opposition.
Oh, man. That was a really solid one. Like, that full-on comes down to prediction, right? Like, you know, okay, the flash comes out. Probably this player is going to start running out, so you kind of predict more or less how far they're going to go, how far your scope needs to move. I am always in awe of how well these pro players understand the game, the movement, the mechanics. Phenomenal. So there's Illuminar finally evening out the scoreline for themselves. Forward in a very, very tight spot here. Back down onto just some upgraded pistols. Very little utility to work with as well. And they've just been like read into consistently. Now they're going for a very telegraphed push in onto the A site, but I think this is going to be pretty telegraphed.
I mean, it's working fantastically so far, but unfortunately it's going to get torn apart when they actually come face to face with these guns. Spray through the smoke, sprayed face to face. 1 person left on over. Has to even go for the reload. Don't know if he's going to be able to get a single kill here. No. Absolutely slaughtered. They managed to get 1 kill, and I mean, who cares? Reatz has 5.8k in the bank, but his teammates have plenty as well, so buying into this isn't going to be too painful.
They're not even in the least concerned with their economy at the moment. I mean, they are definitely feeling flush, feeling pretty good about how this round has turned out. 1 more round and they secure themselves the lead at the half. We're very, very close now to the final round here and getting ourselves into swap sides. Oh, you've got to expect him here in this tunnel. He lives there.
Well, they managed to get a couple of trades, and that's exactly what they needed to succeed. But saying that, IXUS takes down the bomb holder who had just dropped it. Now Mao is going to have to go and try and recover it. The CTs don't know that the bomb was down, so he's going to be jumping straight out. That was a little bit careless. A little bit careless, I'd have to say, from Mal. But you know what? Interesting. It's 8 rounds. We're into the last round of this half here, Sam.
Yeah, we find ourselves in this position once more as Forward desperately attempt to get themselves at least one more round. So just, you know, keep it close, keep it competitive. I think that Illuminar would have been happier with a slightly stronger lead going into the half. But
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think they're complaining with this.
I don't think they can, because it didn't even seem like they're even present in the first 5 rounds. Unfortunately, did not die from that full damage. That is hilarious, but he is gonna get taken down eventually anyway. But it's gonna be IHG and Mirage gonna be able to take down a couple themselves. Now, the last 3 players on the side forward on the last round of this half are gonna be going through apartments, trying to find some trouble and deal with it as they can. IXUS going to be holding close to short. His position isn't well known or documented, so he's going to be able to find 1, 2, make that maybe a third on. Well, I was going to chime in, but couldn't quite try to time it together. He does eventually pick it up.
There we go.
He could have been a little bit faster. It would have made me sound and look fairly good, but good, you know, good in an interesting first half, and Luna bringing it back to a tight 9-6.
I'll be honest, I was a little concerned for Illuminar when this this map started out, right? Forward have such a strong start. They absolutely demolish through the first 5 rounds, and it's like, well, guess Forward really want that 7th place spot. And so I did see some questions about, like, why would they take from this qualifier, not the other ones? The other qualifiers didn't have a 7th place match. And that's very likely because all of those teams would be playing in this qualifier if they didn't make it already. So this is the only opportunity for a team to be one of those replacement teams. So there is definitely stakes involved here. It does happen that a team might not make it for whatever reason, visa issues, or I don't know, somebody gets sick, whatever. These things do actually
that PC,
happen.
yeah, you know.
Yeah, you know. I do be like that.
Yeah, the usual stuff, you know. Stuff that happens to everyone. Taking it off here, Sam. What do you reckon?
Ooh. I got a good feeling about Illuminar. Despite their performance on the previous match, I think that they've got a pretty good lead for themselves here. They've definitely got the hunger, the tenacity, but it's going to take a little bit more than just those qualities to come through on top of this one. Forward also not looking to give an inch.
Yep, definitely a bit of a struggle for me to try and decide. Let's see what they're going to be able to make up on their own. IXUS is going to be able to get the first kill, looking for the second one, but it's going to be Morals taking them down now. Behind him, it's going to be GAIM taking a couple for himself, but not going to be able to find any more than that. It's going to be the last 2 players, and well,
nice.
Never mind. 1v2. IXUS is going to be in a difficult position. His place is well known, and Problem is going to deal with him.
Deny the bomb from getting planted, that is possibly the perfect position for Forward to be in, because not only do they win the round and get themselves some extra cash, they deny a ton of cash to Illuminar. So that should theoretically confirm them another round. I don't know. Illuminar have had some pretty interesting rounds where even on ecos, they managed to kind of outplay themselves. And I don't mean that in the negative way, right? Like, there's 2 ways that you can look at that sentence. They do really well. Fortunately, might not happen in this one.
Probably not at this point, but that's, you know, let's see. Reed's going to be jumping out, looking to get a kill. He's going to be able to pick up 1, but teammates going to be a little bit too slow to actually get a kill. But they don't get the bomb down. It means there's a loss of income for the following round. Mars is still alive, has an MP9 in hand. If he can get close enough, he might be able to find a kill, but unfortunately, there's a player over towards short, and it's going to be IXUS himself. May well be able to spot out these players, especially if Mask gives his position away, but he's going to be able to catch him off guard, gets the kill.
No ways.
There's still a minute left on the clock. And this last player hasn't even got 4 HP. His headshot.
Oh,
It comes through, he gets it. Mars, an absolute god, is going to be able to take full advantage of that situation. IXUS, unfortunately, going to get caught off guard.
I mean, we said it was possible. I don't think either of us really believed it would happen, but great work from Illuminar to turn that, you know, that entire round back into their favor. And this is really important for them because obviously now they're able to buy in where Forward, that was essentially going to be their bonus. Now they're forced to spend in, which is probably going to take away from their 3rd round buy unless less they can win this round. Like, this is going to be a pretty important one economically for both teams.
100%, and well, it's going to be starting out terribly for the opposite side of forward, and they're going to get burnt alive as well. Problem has to use his utility early on, but he's going to be able to stay close and personal with them. They're going to be peeking over. He finds first kill, not before getting damaged. The question is, are they going to be able to find him in time before he does any more damage to their side? MP9 in close proximity is such a dangerous weapon, and he's going to be able to find another one right here now. Turns around, doesn't quite get the shot off. If he had, he would have been able to find another kill, but he's not able to tower with the Galil. He's going to be able to find a kill. Turns around, he's going to now suddenly realize he's the last one left alive. He knows where this last player is. Zosia has got a deagle. That could be an easy one deag if he so wishes. 3 bullets in the chamber as well. He's going to have to be on point and sharp with this. 50 seconds left on the clock. This is very reminiscent of the previous round. Disadvantage for the side of forward, but I don't know, they could still do something here. Tower's waiting for information. He did take some shots. I thought he knew where he was. There we go. Spotted and flushed out.
I believe it was Problem that was like chilling there under that catwalk position, and he gets way more value than he should have. Like, the first kill, sure, fair enough, you're at a pretty strange angle. The second kill that he doesn't get cleared from that position, ridiculous. That should have been a very clean Illuminar round. And again, it just ends up being incredibly messy. They do come out on top, so props to them for that, I suppose. Able to buy in here, so that's going to help them out to try and sustain a little bit. As forward... Oh, there's a Zeus. Oh, I do enjoy a Zeus. I wonder if it'll actually get any value.
I hope so. It'd be great.
It's always fun to watch.
It's kind of sad because it doesn't even really give you any money.
Nope.
It should definitely, like, as far as I'm concerned, it should give you the same money as a knife does.
I suppose, yeah. I mean, it's almost the same range, so.
I'd arguably say it's very hard to use it because it's very easy to miss. It's far easier to miss than with a knife. Oh, well, there you go. And there goes to my second point. You can still hit someone up close directly and not kill them.
Yeah. Rough round for forward, but to be expected.
12th round on the board here, Sam.
Yeah, we are climbing to a potential end of the line. I mean, I had faith in Illuminar when you were asking me as we were kind of heading into the pistol round here, and I was like, oh, looking a lot better now. I should be able to, pull something together. But even I'm a little bit impressed here with how well they've done. Forward now, of course, going to be able to buy in once again. It's not perfect. They're missing out on a lot of util, quite a bit of armor, no diffused kits, so this could end very badly if it's not perfect.
Oh, especially when your top players are going to die like that, and especially when Mal is going to sit out twiddling his thumbs.
He's just vibing.
This is such a strange matchup. I will say both the teams are probably very exhausted. This has been one hell of a process to be able to get to this point, yeah. Especially for Illuminar, who I will give massive props for because this is their 6th match in a row, and they had one of their matches which was a double overtime.
Yeah.
On Dust 2. So they've been absolutely hammered. I'm impressed. I mean, it's something you need to be able to do.
Mental fortitude. You just gotta keep going. You can't really afford to make a slip. I think they're probably both teams are quite happy to see that we are, nearing the finish line. Of course, forward would like to extend that a little bit, get themselves a few more points on the board. Hey ho, maybe even win it out. The Illuminar, I mean, they can taste it, right? They're not willing to let this go on longer than it needs to. They went out this round. We get to 14 points on the board. So close to that match point scenario. Forward, well, not going to get too much done here.
They do manage to find one kill, though, with that 5-7, but they are going to get shut down fairly quickly. IXUS just instantly knows where one of the players is. I mean, it's a good idea to check the angle, especially on the pistol rounds. Bomb's going to get planted, and, well, Zelo is going to be stuck. There's not really much he can do here. You can wait for them to come on over towards him, and he can try to take a kill, but realistically, this is going to be the 14th. Well, yeah, this is the 14th round on the board here for Illuminar. Yeah, I've heard some footsteps.
Yeah, an extra frag here would be nice, but I don't think it would be that impactful. Not at this late stage in the game. Maybe
Not with the Deagle either.
Yeah, maybe to pick up one of those guns, you know, then, okay, we're starting to see a little bit of value because you can take that into the next round, but it would have to be very kind of up close and personal. You kill a player in Palace, you're not getting his gun. So aside from that, there really isn't any sort of point to it. Rather hold on to the Deagle, I suppose, because it was a little bit of an investment in coming into this round. You have to kind of buy in. And I know that I very often kind of criticize teams for forcing or full buying, or however you want to phrase it, into the round before the penultimate round. But yeah, I think very similarly to what we'd said in the previous matchup, it's one of those cases where they kind of have to. Running out of options here. Illuminar have doubled their scoreline. Something's got to give.
Yeah, I mean, to try and take the straight win, they're going to have to get at least, well, 8 rounds in a row. So it is a lot to ask for, especially when you've just now quickly lost 2 players. When Mao was able to get that first kill, I honestly thought they were going to be able to do a lot better on here, but they've struggled to follow up on it. And this is a similar problem that Illuminar had over on Dust 2. Mao, there we go. There's the follow-up we needed to see, but Doji have to be able to pick up one. Not quite a second, and unfortunately for them, the bomb can get planted, and it's going to be fairly much uncontested. It is planted in a decent position for that CT spot. You know that there are players coming in from the connector position and using that Molotov. It's going to cut off what they can exactly do. They are going to spray this box, I'd imagine. If they don't, I'd be a bit surprised, because
they're not going to.
Reatz is going to be here. Looking to peek out. Finds a kill. Here comes the spam now, but it's a little bit too late. Even if you do kill him, you're going to have to go into a 1v1, and it is well known. Oh, come on. Stop shooting him through the box. Almost, anyway.
Oh, dear me.
Oh, it's coming up behind him. But Mast is there. Holding him. Protecting him, and there we go. We go to the final round, potentially.
Holding him, protecting him, cuddling him, you know, kiss the homies. All that good stuff.
Yeah, Super Smash Bros.
Dragging them to that match point scenario, and okay, Forward, you know, getting a few kills in that previous round, building up as much cash as they possibly could into this one. Not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. This should be done and done, although I did say that on the last map, and let's face it, it did not end up that way. Look at that! Yellow takes out IHG.EXUS. I mean, this could be another round for Forward.
Yeah, I mean, Zelo getting that first kill is great, but you know what? We saw Mao do that last time round, and it didn't end up so great for them. But if they can follow it up with some kills, it'd be fantastic. But no, they're going to be absolutely dropped. Their pants pull down. Master's full, but they're now going to be in a 1v3, never mind, 1v2. Wow, this game is a little bit crazy to watch at times, and we're going to be watching this body's perspective, it seems. Hopefully our producer is going to switch around and have a look around so you can see this final kill, as Reatz is going to take that final one. Oh god, please.
Seizure-inducing.
CSGO, okay. Everyone.
There, yeah.
When Source 2, please. Gaben. Please, Valvo. But yeah, GG, well played. Absolutely fantastic. One hell of a series, and one hell of a couple of best of 3s coming out from Illuminar, who struggled to get straight into the qualifiers for RMR. Well, for the RMR that is going to be held obviously over in Malta. This has been a difficult situation for Illuminar, but they